She's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for one of my favorite shows, 911, that comes on Fox on Wednesdays. Yes, I know it is currently Friday when you see this, and I'm a day late, but it is what it is. It's okay. This is season 1, episode 5, and I hope everyone had a great Thursday. It's gonna have a great Friday because it's currently Friday. This early in the morning. And let's get into this particular review. This was a good episode, and I feel like the first scene, they got it from social media. So the first scene that shows, a man and woman getting married. They are Indian, and it's like an arranged marriage. What was that, Indian or Hindu? One of the two. And, they had the wedding and everything, and they're at the reception, and they're dancing around and partying. And as they dancing around, the whole floor collapses and just falls through. And I remember seeing a video of this on either Snapchat or Instagram where this is Black Pride, it was like some kids partying at a house, and they were at a party, and you saw everybody turning up. Ooh, turn it up. Woo! And then the floor collapsed. So this is the video of it. And then it's the video of the floor collapsing. And then the aftermath of like the water being busted and people trying to climb up and people being hurt. So I'm like, oh my God, this happened in real life. So it kind of makes me wonder if the 911 calls really have happened somewhere else, because I saw that on social media. I really did. So they had, of course, the firefighters in there. So it was like Buck was there, Buck, Hen, Bobby was there and everything. And the funny part about it is, the groom was okay. They were looking for the wife and everything. And people died. It was bad on the episode or whatever. But it's funny because Buck was propelling down because the floor fell down 2 stories. And so Buck was propelling down, and I was just waiting for Abby to call him to talk to him, because Abby always calling him when he on the job. So I'm like, is Abby gonna call him today too? But she didn't. And they did end up finding the wife, who was buried under some rubble. She was okay. So husband and wife made it, and Bobby's then looking around, and he sees some of the broken, cement or whatever, and he pick it up, and he like, the hell? He like, where's the building man, the building owner? So he right there, and Bobby pissed. He going off. You think I don't see what you did? You didn't. Basically, the house wasn't built up to code. He used some spackle or whatever to build a whole third thing. He like, that wasn't even a real 3rd floor. That was the roof, wasn't it? And he was like, yeah. So Bobby pissed. He like, I'ma have you arrested. And he pissed, and he like oddly like evil pissed, and he ain't like, man, calm down. What's wrong with you? He was like, mind your business. And she was like, well, what the hell? Back off. And she like, just the other day you was asking for help. Now it's back off. And he was like, just mind your business. And he walked away. I'm like, oh, you tough? Nah. Okay. All right, Bobby. So the next thing we see is he and Althea is out for drinks and everything. I need to go out for drinks. Well, me and Carla are going out in like 2 weeks, so it's fine. So yeah, we see he and Althea having a conversation, and Althea isn't happy because the little bully girl who bullied her daughter will maybe be getting off for them charges, because her parents are saying that if they drop the charges on the daughter, then basically Althea can go back to work and she'll get off of desk duty. And she's like, but this kind of makes me mad. So from there, Hen brings up how, Bobby be overreacting about stuff, and, how he was on like a whole little bender, whatever, after the plane crash, and how when they went to his house, how she's like, his walls didn't have any pictures. It's almost as if no one lives there. It was so strange. Like, he's been my captain for a year, and I feel like I really don't know him like I thought I did, and it's just, it's awkward. So, she's like, well, I can do a background check on him. And she's like, no, it's already tense enough. I don't want him to think that we don't trust him. So, it is what it is. And then he's like, but I am worried about him. So Then he and bring up how her ex-girlfriend called her from prison. I'm like, okay, so Hen's a lesbian and her ex-girlfriend is in prison? Okay. So I feel like you don't know her shit. What she calling you for? And she's like, well, yeah, I know, but she called on this emergency. She wants me to come see her. And, you know, I kind of don't want to have an issue because when we adopted Denny, you know, she didn't give us any issue, so I don't know what to do. So I'm like, okay, that means she has a new girlfriend, and they have a son they adopted who must have been her ex-girlfriend's son or something, because she said, you know, she let us adopt him with no fuss. So we're going to see how that plays out later on. You know, we then see, you know, Buck is at home or whatever, and Abby sent him like a text message, and it's a flyer because her mama was still missing. And so, of course, he called, and you can hear her voice, and she's kind of panicky or whatever. So he's like, okay, you know, I'm going to come over there, and, you know, I'm going to come see you. And then after we find your mom, we can go back to our whole agreement of talking over on the phone and not in person. And I'm like, oh, Buck's so nice. Hey, Buck. And so, you know, he get over there, and Karla answered the door. He's like, Abby? And Karla was like, ooh. Because he's cute. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So then Abby walked up, and he was like, Abby? She's like, hey, Buck. And so they finally see each other face to face, and he smiled. I'm like, okay. He like older women, you know what I'm saying? And Abby's cute. You know, Connie Britton is a beautiful woman. So, like, you know, she's been gone for like 9 hours. You know, she probably could not have gotten far. You know, she can't be, you know, between these many miles or whatever. You know, so Buck like, you know, don't worry about it. We're going to find her. We're going to search mile by mile. Come on, let's go. I'm like, Buck is a real ass Captain Save him. He come and save every goddamn body. So, we then see Hen go see her ex in prison. Her ex look rough. I mean, like, maybe she was on meth. Rough. Like, maybe she was on meth and she was like a little bit of a prostitute. Rough. Like, I mean, it's a little bit rough. You know what I'm saying? Not like she gonna die rough, but like, she had a hard life rough. And, you know, her ex like, you know, how so-and-so, whatever. And she like, look, what you want? Why am I here? You said it was an emergency. What's going on? She's like, well, you know, I'm up for parole. And, you know, my whoever, her lawyer, said it'd be good if I had somebody speak up for me. And since you are a firefighter and you know me, I feel like, you know, maybe you could speak up for me. And then also you can wear your uniform because it'll look good on me if you come. And I'm looking like, this bitch got audacity. And she was like, I haven't saw you in a year. You know, what would I even say? I would have just said no. Matter of fact, I would not have even went to go visit the bitch. I'm good. No, I don't visit exes in prison. Ain't gonna happen. I don't care. I'm done. And, you know, she then said, you know me. I've changed. I've taken these programs. I've taken some accounting classes. I'm different. You know what I'm saying? When we were together, I was the best that I was. Now you're in prison for something. Okay, we ain't go there. I'm no longer a troublemaker. He looking like she contemplating, and I'm looking like, no, don't do it. You know, just don't do it. We see Bobby, and he meeting with his priest because he's, you know, going through things. And he's like, you know, it's just such a hard time for me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want them to know things about me. Talking about people at work. And the priest said, what? That you know, fell off the wagon? He's like, no, you know, other things about me. I don't want them to know. And he's like, you know, like what? He was like, that I murdered my whole family. And I was like, Bobby, you killer? OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby. I'm like, he's a whole killer from South Central. Bruh. I'm like, he said I murdered my whole family. Now, when he's out joking on the whole OG Bobby Johnson, that's from South Central. But, you know, when he said he killed his family, before it went anywhere further, I said something happened that his family died in and he blamed himself. I said it was either a car accident because he was drunk or a fire he couldn't save him from. I said that point blank, period. So the next thing that we see is saying how it was 5 years ago. We see Bobby in the car. He drinking, popping some mints to make his breath not smell, keeping drinking. He going to the house. His 2 kids there. His wife is there. His wife, I think she can taste or smell the liquor, you know. And, you know, she like, you know, what are you doing now? They put the kids to bed, first of all. And the kid's like, you know, Dad, is your back hurting again? You know, we know it gets kind of crazy when your back hurts or whatever. He's like, no, I'm fine. He supposedly broke his back 5 years ago. And the wife like, you know, you shouldn't still be suffering from that. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. And he like, look, I'm finna go on a walk. He leave. to go on his walk. So he goes on a walk so that his back doesn't get stiff overnight. This fool takes the elevator down to the 6th floor. I'm like, that ain't the lobby. And he go into a room. He got a whole nother apartment downstairs. A whole nother empty ass apartment. He go in there. It's like a space heater and a little like canteen lamp or whatever, and like some cover. So he sit down on the floor next to the space heater. He take a couple sips of the liquor or whatever, fill up his little flask, and he lay down. He kind of fell asleep. He then woke up later. Oh shit, because he just probably slept the whole night away. And he jumps up, takes the cover off, and he leaves out. He leaves the lamp on. He leaves the space heater on. I said to myself right now, the whole goddamn building gonna burn down. That's what's gonna happen. He go up to the apartment back to his wife, and she, of course, mad because he didn't come home. And she's like, I've always put up with things. You're not coming home from work. Well, you didn't come home now. What are you back? Smoking, drinking, drugs. And he's like, I'm doing everything. I tweaked my back 10 months ago. It's been getting bad. I had a prescription for some Oxycontin pills. When those ran out, I just kind of do whatever I can to take the pain away. And she's like, this is crazy. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And, she's like, I'll forgive you eventually, but right now I can't forgive you. He leave his keys to the apartment in the house. So he go upstairs we'll go down to his other apartment. He ain't got the keys. He like, fuck. He then just, instead of going back to his house and getting his keys, he just says, fuck it, and goes to the roof. I'm like, Bobby, what are you doing? But of course, this is 5 years ago, Bobby. He go up to the roof. He get a little bit more of a drink. You know what I'm saying? He have a little sip from his flask. And he, again, falls asleep. Who fall asleep on the roof in the winter? Not me. Not Jay Lee. So he wakes up. And he hears sirens because the goddamn apartment building is on fire. So he run downstairs. And he like, oh my God. Because we see the space here he left on, it did catch fire to the cover he sat next to the goddamn thing. So he run out from the roof, but it's a fire everywhere. It's a fire. Some man is on fire. He got to put the man out. You know what I'm saying? He then trying to get to his own apartment, but when he gets to his door, he trying to kick the door in for his family because this is in the middle of the night. They probably sleep or whatever. And, he's trying to kick the door open, and the floor beneath him collapses, and he sinks in. So we now kind of see why certain fires trigger him. The floor coming down thing from the wedding, because that's what happened to him. Him and the guy fell through the floor, and he was trying to climb back up, but he couldn't because the firefighters kept pulling him back because the whole floor was on fire. And so he's upset because he left a space heater on. The apartment that he left it on and caught fire and burned the whole goddamn building down. He said like 148 people died in the fire, including his family, and he blames himself. And the priest was like, how did something that little burn the whole building down? He's like, the building was a fire trap, like it was just done up to coal, basically put together by spackle. So again, seeing how the building manager or the building owner, the other apartment, the other building did that too, triggered him. I'm like, okay, I'm getting it. Even that book that he had, where he had only 47 names, and Buck said the book holds 148 names. Why does 47? I was like, he had a book of names for probably the people who died in the fire, and he just hadn't finished filling the names out yet. Maybe he stopped at his wife and his kids' names. Okay? Got you. Put 2 and 2 together. So the priest is like, I can't tell them that happened. I need my team to trust me. I need them to be able to believe in me. And if I tell them the truth, they won't do that. And the priest says, if you don't trust them to tell them your truth, then they're not really your friends. You don't really have any friends. That's true. Very fucking true. So we see Hen telling her girlfriend, who played in something else, and I can't remember what. I'm going to figure out who the girlfriend is. But she's telling the girlfriend how the ex-girlfriend called. She's getting out of jail. She's up for parole. And she wants her to speak on her behalf. And she was like, okay, so you told her no, right? And she was like, well, no, I didn't say anything. And, the girlfriend isn't happy. And she's like, she's nothing but trouble. You can go to the parole board and tell them that she's nothing but trouble. Even if she's in, she said, she said, did you go see her? And she was like, yeah. She's like, see, she's not even out of jail already, and you're already lying and sticking around to me. That's not a good thing. She was like, I just need not to give her a reason to be vindictive, because what if she do get out and she try to cause trouble for our son and whatever. And she's like, she's not that bad. And the girlfriend said, you're right. She's worse because she was your first love. And everybody know that you do some strange things for your first love. You would just think they are not that bad, even if they do the worst shit to you. And that seems like what Hen is doing, because when the girl was talking to her in the prison, she seemed like she didn't know what to do. Like, she knew it wasn't right to be there, and she probably knew, like, I don't need to deal with this, but she still went anyway because it's her first love. So we see Abby and Buck out looking for her mom, and they're driving around or whatever. And some kind of way, no. He was like, this is an awkward first date, whatever. And she's like, well, you not been on a date in a while. He's like, oh, what, like a couple weeks? And she's like, no, it's like a year. And he's like, wow, a year? He was like, wait, you haven't had sex in a year? And she was like, no, I haven't had sex in a year. He's like, do you at least masturbate? And she was like, yeah, a little bit, not that much. I'm looking like, this is a very intrusive conversation for a first goddamn date. And then she's like, she also says, I just prefer skin to skin contact. So, while they're driving around, they hear a call on the little system thing saying it was like a down power line, and it was like 2 blocks away. She's like, no, we can't ignore it. It'll take 8 to 10 minutes for us to get there. We're the closest, we should just go. I'm like, and look at her being 911 and him being a goddamn firefighter. So, they pull up to this house, and there was a down power line. There was like a car accident out front that knocked the power line down. And then in the house, in the backyard, in the pool, it was like a little girl on a floaty, and it was a man dead in the pool because he tried to get in the pool to save the little girl, but he got electrocuted because the down power line. And so at first, the dad noticed that he can't run out to jump in the pool, and Buck tackled him. He's like, you can't do that. There's so many watts of whatever in the water. Anyone who touches it will die. He like, get you up, so let me save her. This fool Buck say he go grab like a crocodile blow up thing. He like, you know what? I'm just gonna get on this and float to her. Abby was like, what? No, you can't do that. So she get the the water hose. It's like, here, you take this in, I'll take this in. And then they, put it the width of the pool, and they get to where the little girl is on the raft, and they have her grab hold to it, and then they just pull the raft to the edge of the pool to get her out. And because, of course, the water hose couldn't touch the water either, so they had to keep the water hose up high and make sure that the little girl didn't touch the water, because she would have died. She would have died. So they saved her. It was beautiful. It was a cute little thing. I'm like, okay. Y'all a whole dynamic do on these streets, you know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do. And it was cool because when they walked away, he gave her like a high five, and when he touched her hand, he kind of like, oh, skin to skin contact. But anyway, so they get back to the car, and Thea called to say, hey, we think we found your mother. She's at the hospital, get her pretty quick. So she gets there. Her mama didn't walk all the way to Egypt. She had walked really, really, really far, like miles and miles away. And I think I wrote in my note, like, some vatos brought her back. But I said, but wait, what if vatos is like a derogatory meaning for like Mexicans? But I'm like, but no, I hear people say all the time vatos. So it was like some Mexican dudes who brought her back, and they was like, where was she at? And they're like, well, she had wandered all the way to us. She was very agitated and confused, and the dudes say, I knew what it was because, that's what my mother goes through. I got it. I don't want to talk like that. That is just not, girl, bye. But he says, I've seen it happen. It only gets worse from there. But, she's okay, but we brought her back immediately. She's like, oh, my God, thank you so much. She's like, Abby? So her mama is Lisa, her right mad. She's like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She's like, oh, it's okay, Mom, it's fine. A very, very touching, very, very touching moment. And then back at the house, she's putting her mom to bed, and her mom sees Buck, and she's like, are you so-and-so? The ex-boyfriend that she had. You don't look like so-and-so. You look different. She's like, Mom, remember, I broke up with so-and-so, this is my friend Buck, he's about to leave, say bye. And he walked up to shake her hand and say bye. He said, mother said to him, be good to her. She deserves it. Be good to her. And she's like, oh my God, Mom, come on, he's leaving or whatever. So at the door, you know, they both agree that they should not see each other again because they'll end up having sex. And you know, because she said that Buck was saying like, this is the longest I've been around a woman who I wanted to sleep with, and I didn't sleep with her. And that's when she said, well, yeah, I think that's why we shouldn't be around each other, because if we do, you know, we slip up and something's going to happen. And then she's like, but don't go out, have sex with some random chick from Tinder. And he's like, you know what? I'm not, you know, I'm going to call you. I'm like, oh, Buck likes her. Like, he likes her. She likes him, so it's cute. We then see back at the firehouse, Buck comes in like how he's on this little high horse. You know, I met a girl today, I met her mom, and I didn't have sex with her. I'm looking like, what kind of life you live? Well, that's an accomplishment. What the fuck going on right here? But we still see that there's tension between Hen and Bobby from the morning of the whole firehouse, the floor sinking in and everything like that. They haven't made up yet. So from there, they get like an emergency call at a car wash because a man is stuck in the brush. Now, this is something else I saw on social media. It was a man who got stuck in a car wash thing because the hose got caught in the brush thing and it caught him. And he was just spinning. And I swear to God, it's so, I remember seeing it and laughing so hard about it. So I'm like, oh my God, that is just too funny. So, you know, they say the guy, whatever, but when they're watching the video of it happen, they all laugh. So it kind of relieves the tension between Hen and Bobby and everything like that. They're laughing. And then, you know, Hen and Bobby kind of talk. And he said, you know, he basically kind of apologized. And he says, like, you know what? When we get back to the firehouse, you know, I want to introduce you to someone. And he's like, well, who? And he was like, me. So he's going to, in his own way, tell them, because he said, you know, I made some mistakes in my past, and I lost everything that I love dearly, and I don't want that to happen again. So I try to keep people at a distance so I don't let anyone get close to hurt me the way I was hurt when I lost what I lost. So that's when he said, you know, so I'm going to introduce you to me so you can kind of get to know me. I thought it was a great thing. And, you know, it's pretty cute. And I think if he tells them what happened, they will understand why he is the way he is, and why things affect him the way he did, because he lost his wife and his 2 kids strictly because he was, you know, an alcoholic and popping pills. And even though he didn't purposely start the fire, he still was being absent-minded because of his drinking and him, because he had a whole empty apartment in the building. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of weird thing where it was not his fault at all, but at the same time, you get why he blames himself. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it takes you telling someone else what happened for them to say, yes, it was something that happened, it was terrible, but it's not your fault, bro. Ain't your fault. So the last thing we see is, you know, Abby put her mom to bed, and then Buck calls her. So Buck is in bed, and Abby's getting ready for bed, and he's like, did you want to have sex with me today? And she was like, what? And he was like, you said earlier that if we were to see each other, that, you know, we would end up doing something. Like, is it because you wanted to have sex with me? And she was like, well, you know, yeah. And I'm like, aw, Abby. And he was like, so, you know, you haven't, you know, had a date in a year, right? And she's like, yeah. So it was like chit-chatting or whatever on the phone. And he was like, but you said that you want us, you know, to only communicate over the phone, right? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, so what are you wearing? And I was looking like, Buck, is you initiating phone sex with Abby? And Abby was like, I'm in the bed. What are you talking about? He was like, well, you said that we can only communicate over the phone. I'm like, Buck called Abby for phone sex. I mean, I guess if you can't have real sex and you don't want the person that you want to be with to have sex, just have phone sex, and y'all can just, because technically phone sex is still sex with each other. Because phone sex isn't really masturbation because you're doing it with someone. You know what I'm saying? Whole other conversation that we're not going to get into today. But that was how the episode went off. They didn't show them touching that, but they definitely initiated the fact that they were going to, you know, have some little phone sex or whatever. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed my review. This is a weird way to end the review. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.